Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Look at that funky background.
Radishes.
The coolest thing ever. I'm so
Thank you.
happy you're here today. On my,
Thank you for having me. This is super exciting.
I'm calling this Lost in Creation, and I'm so excited you're here with us.
Oh,
And if anything, what I'm going to try and do here is, get a feel for who you are and talk more about your process, where you're from, and we'll get a little deeper as we go through the segment. But for now, just give me an introduction and tell me a little bit about yourself.
okay. Well, I am from Kansas City originally. I then moved up to Chicago for college. Um, Graduated, worked there for a little bit, and then decided I wanted more creativity in my life. So I chose to go to culinary school. That was the creativity that I chose. And then I realized after I graduated that and worked in restaurants for a little bit that it's those working conditions are a real struggle. They don't jive well with me. So um, then I decided to just get back into the regular working world, 9 to 5. So that's kind of where I am now, but I'm incorporating more of my artistic creativity, um, as well as combining that into my rabbit food guides, these things.
I am such a big fan of your rabbit food guides, and
Thank
for
you.
those people like who will be watching, I did a whole art segment last night inspired by Ellen's work, and we incorporated all types of produce. And I want you to talk a little bit about your alcohol inks. I know some
Ah,
people use fire with alcohol inks. I
I
know,
didn't know
but
that
yeah,
actually.
oh yes. They
It
flammable,
makes sense.
right? And it
Yeah.
creates that beautiful abstract work. But talk to me about the alcohol inks that you're using.
Yes. So actually, I wanted to show you my veggies that I made with you last night.
Ooh, look at that
I
watermelon.
don't I don't have watercolors, so I still use the alcohol inks. So they're a little bit different than what you instructed, but I wanted to play along.
Go rogue, please.
So I use these. I don't know if you can see them.
Okay.
They're Copic alcohol ink refills. So they're typically meant for the markers, and they're meant to refill the markers. And what happened is I was doing that, and then some ink fell on some paper. This is a few years ago. So then since then I was like enamored and decided to just continue with that theme of just dropping ink on paper. And then it went from doing a lot of people faces.
Portraiture.
You.
Trust me, this is
Portraiture, and then I got really into plants and vegetables. Um, so that's kind of how it works. And like I have this peach. These are the peaches that I did, and so you can kind of see there's quite a few different colors in there.
so
And yeah, so they dry like I said yesterday in the class. They dry really quick, so I have to move really fast. Um,
wow.
so it's just a matter of like having all the colors ready and then just laying them out on the paper and just having this vision already kind of set out of what you want it to look like before starting, because otherwise it could just end up being a mess.
It's a live speed drawing.
Yes,
It's a live
totally.
speed drawing. I mean, that is insane. And this is something I wanted to do because you create these really engaging mini clips of your process on Instagram. And I don't know if you have a readily available clip, if you want to screen share it. I
Yeah.
That would be dynamite to see one of these things in
Yeah,
action.
let
Yes.
me share, and I will just go ahead, and since we're on the apricots, did I call them peaches earlier? Apricots.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and share that one. So,
And I did,
oh,
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a girl from the city. So, when it comes to produce, sometimes I think I know what I'm looking at. I don't. But so I'm here to, you're going to educate me a little bit. And
okay.
yeah.
Well, the funny thing, I feel like these could totally be peaches. Like, if I put rabbit food guides as peaches on this, it would be the same thing.
So as
He doesn't.
far as while you're in the process of screen sharing, what got you
Mhm.
started with the rabbit food guides?
Um, I it kind of started with the the environmental aspect of it because my boyfriend was trying to get us to do vegan food only, and I was really resistant to that. This was a couple of years ago, and I didn't want to do it. And then, but I did. I started getting more and more into just eating vegetables and fruits and things like that, and moving away from the dairies and the meats.
Okay.
And then, more environmental information comes at me, and I feel more inspired to kind of just promote eating plants in people's diet. And it's really hard.
It's
Speaking of someone
so
who's done,
hard. I'm
yeah,
Spanish. We grew up eating pork with pork.
yeah,
So basically, it's really just hard to wrap my mind around just plants.
totally. And me too. And
Yeah.
I do spoil myself. I get fried chicken here and there. I get bacon here and there,
Do
but
you tell your boyfriend about it, or is it, you know, for
he's
good?
worse than I am. He's the one who started this, but
Oh,
now he's worse than I am.
oh boy.
Yeah, so that's kind of what inspired it. I wanted to, because I feel like produce is a mystery to a lot of people. There's just so much that we can do with it and make it palatable and delicious and satisfying. So I'm hoping to kind of help people explore that a little bit more.
Well, you make everything look so appetizing, and
Oh,
I
thanks.
yeah, if anything, some of the textures that you achieve, and I know that your process involves it's like a multi-layered step where you're working with your hands and then you're digitally manipulating it in Procreate, right?
Hmm. Yes.
And as you navigate and transition between those steps, is there a part of that process that you enjoy the most? I assume it's the one with dropping the inks and seeing where they spontaneously land.
It totally is. It's just so much fun to see like how the ink moves and where it decides to go and kind of being in the moment with it and just like I said yesterday, just letting go and kind of just seeing what happens.
So liberating, right?
Yeah,
That's
I agree.
incredible. How are you able to share your screen, or is
I'm trying to figure it out. So it says
okay,
share content and then I can share my screen,
okay,
except that
cool.
it stops photos.
Yeah, so I do that little.
Start, see what happens. Nope, stop recording.
There's usually like a little green button on the bottom. In the
Hmm. Share, it says share content and then screen,
Oh,
but then
good.
this weird thing starts coming up. It's
Hmm.
like recording. It's a screen recording rather than you are sharing screen. Okay. Can you?
Oh, okay. I see the background. Yay!
Okay, perfect. Okay, good. I did it right.
All right, we're gonna look
Okay.
at some videos and
Yeah.
figure.
So here are the apricots.
Oh, wow!
Yeah. So
Look at
it's
you
just like a.
go.
What's that?
I said, "Look at you go."
Yeah, it takes I do a lot of background research in preparation for this, just searching through Instagram. And if I have the produce with me, that's ideal. Like if I had apricots with me, I would try and base it off of that, but that doesn't always happen. So I tend to find my sources on Instagram, just perusing. These are morels. Have you ever had morel mushrooms?
I've had many mushrooms, but I'm unsure if I've ever had a morel. Is there a
They're
to it?
they're they're really prized because of their super short growing season,
I see. Okay.
and and so they're really expensive. Like you would have to pay like $30 a pound for these mushrooms, but
Oh my gosh.
so
Wow.
they're hard to find too. What else do I have? These are, oh, this is artichoke,
I was gonna
which,
guess that actually.
oh, nice.
Yeah, I was gonna be. I'm very proud of myself actually for.
Yeah. Do you love artichokes or you don't like them?
I love them. I grew up around
Okay.
a lot of Italians, so they would
Ah,
stuffed artichokes. So it was just like loaded with breadcrumbs. They made it really unhealthy, but it was
yeah.
so good. I like them pickled too, like out of the jar. you know?
Yes. Oh, I love them in like like a Greek salad.
Oh yeah, put that
Um,
on like a charcuterie plate. I'm party.
I just drooled.
Oh yes.
Um, and then I have one more available that I have prepared. This is ooh, can you guess?
I'm gonna say pomegranate.
Yeah.
I love
This one was one of my favorite ones to do.
this.
I just love how the reds bled together.
I love the fact it's interesting that the alcohol inks almost have this very graphic nature to them in the way
Hmm.
they dry because of their clean. They have a clean line quality,
Hmm.
so it's almost like
Yeah.
yeah, you wonder if like what parts are made by hand and what parts are made digitally, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's just
Mhm.
I love how bright the colors end up with with the alcohol inks. They're just so, to me, they're breathtaking. Like they're just show stopping and like I can't not look at them.
Yeah.
I just love the vivacity that they
The
have.
vivaciousness
Yeah.
of the alcohol inks. So something I do want to highlight, and I, coming from like an art education background, have you ever led a group before with, teaching how to do this, or have you had any background experience with teaching art?
I had the opportunity once about a
Okay.
year ago to lead a workshop, and it was as part of a gallery showing. It was in this teeny tiny town in Kansas, but it was like, Kansas kind of takes you by surprise. This is like kind of closer to where I grew up. You think of you have this like image of people from Kansas, but these people were so sweet and so like into it, and it made me so happy. And so it was a really enjoyable experience, just kind of workshopping that and seeing people's interests. And yeah, it was lovely.
Incredible. I mean, it's usually, when you share that process with somebody, you're creating these memorable experiences and you're sort of spreading your knowledge and your joy and everything intertwined, and you create these really beautiful relationships out of it. And I know that online you're able to do that with lots of different artists. So we're constantly teaching each other a lot
Oh, for
about
sure.
what we're doing, and I think it's
I've loved watching your videos. I
oh
just you have like this way of explaining that really gets me involved. And
thank you so
I
much.
love your houses and the details that and everything just comes together in this like I feel like I'm in a dream when I look at your work. It's like it's so
Wow,
sweet. Yeah,
what
I
a
love your
beautiful thing
stuff.
to say. I think every time I make something, I'm trying to escape somehow. I'm escaping
Oh,
somewhere. I'm unlocking
yeah.
a doorway somewhere in my mind. But if anything, yeah, I wanted to highlight you in particular because, uh, you know, I think it's important to get lost in the process. And whenever I see a video of yours, that's exactly what you're doing. You're getting lost in it, and
Thank
you're
you.
you can see it just comes from the heart, from everything you're saying.
Girl,
So
you're making me blush.
what I'm gonna do, because I want to ask you like one or two more questions before we leave the segment, and then you can talk about where people can find you on the interwebs. The first thing I'm going to say is this: if you had to work with another artist to do a collaboration, I was going to say collab. I was like, am I cool enough to say that? A
You are.
collaboration. Uh, who would that artist be?
Living or dead?
Either.
Mm.
This is your dream collaboration.
I think it would have to be Georgia O'Keeffe.
Ooh, wow.
Just because she has like that movement in her colors that are so aspirational to me. And I think like I think we could jive well.
You guys would make some killer art.
Oh, thanks.
Georgia, yeah, let's pick up this fruit and we'll do a magnified version of it. And it's going to
Yes.
be amazing. Uh,
Oh God. I would love that.
Yes. And something really cool that I learned about Georgia O'Keeffe when I was teaching about her in my art class was why she started magnifying flowers. And
Ooh.
yes, I was extremely fascinated by this. And she said when she was living in New York City, people were just trying to get from A to B and nobody was in the moment. So in that
Oh,
sense, nobody could stop to smell the flower. So by magnifying the flower, she was able to give people a newfound appreciation to stop, look, and be in the moment.
God, I love that.
Isn't that
Now I want to work with her even more.
right? It's phenomenal. I mean, if anything,
Mhm.
just her use of color and your use of color, I in my head I'm drawing a lot of similarities and parallels between both of your aesthetics. So yeah, that would be like a dream collaboration.
I'd be into it too.
And yeah,
Maybe no, she's dead. So
oh boy, yeah, rest her soul. She's up there.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, love.
yes. And the last question before I leave you, because
Okay.
the whole reason I started making more videos and sharing art and doing workshops was because of quarantine. So in the heat of what's going on right now, what are some words of advice or nuggets of wisdom that you can give to other creators or people that are trying to find ways to stimulate themselves artistically during quarantine?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to speak a little bit from personal experience with the quarantine and finding creativity. It was really hard for me for the first 3 weeks, even 4 weeks, because I just felt so overwhelmed emotionally with everything that was going on. So it kind of impeded with my creativity. And I found that when I let go of creating for a purpose, outside of just doing it for myself, when I let go of doing it for a purpose, I found that I could like sink better into my creativity. So I allowed myself to be more free flowing with it and just draw whatever came to me at that moment. No plan, no purpose, just doing it for me. And that allowed me to bridge the gap to getting back into where I was before COVID, which was doing the plant drawing regularly, and doing the rabbit food guides and getting back into my cookbook, which is my ultimate goal. So I just, yeah, it's big. It's a lot of work, but I just, I had a hard time with it. So I let myself just be free with it. And that really helped me. And I feel like if I'm giving advice, just try not to think beyond your own person. Just put down on put down on paper what is coming to your heart, and just let it flow.
Oh my God.
The best advice I can give, I think.
I'm trying not to let the construction outside of my window impede the beauty of what you just said. If anything, I could not agree more with that. And the ability of just letting go is not easy. And
No.
a lot of people, especially people who have lost their job or are at home with kids, new schedules, you have no choice but to let yourself be free to the moment and just let it glide,
Yes.
let it go.
It's not easy, but I mean, if you can do it, and if you have like an inkling of what creativity speaks to you, whether it's sewing or drawing or knitting or cooking or whatever, just start small and just speak from the heart.
Speak from the heart, have an outlet, it'll get you through. Well,
Yes.
Ellen, it's been a joy having you on this new thing I'm doing, Lost in.
I love it. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you. If anything, I'm inspired by everything that you're doing, and I wish you the best of luck with your cookbook.
Thank you.
Hearing you on. So for now, how can we find you? What are the best ways for us to get in touch with you online? Give me
Yeah.
all your facts.
My website is ellenkilmer.com. That has most of everything. But I think the most comprehensive place is my Instagram account, by.ellenkilmer. I'm also on Facebook at the same handle, by Ellen Kilmer. And I have an Etsy shop also, by Ellen Kilmer.
I love it. Thank you again for stopping by and gracing us with your wonderful creative wisdom. And thank you again.
You're so sweet.
Oh, no, thank you. I'm so appreciative that you took some time and wanted, let me pick your brain a little. So
it's been a pleasure. You've been wonderful. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Ellen. And stay safe out there in Portland.
You too.
Take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye.